So the main reason why I said that the USA should be worried about the American people, it's because government is set up to govern the people of their own nations. That's why, I said the USA should basically mind their business. But that's why we have different governments in different nations. We know there is mistrust, manipulation, corruption, and deceit in all the powers that be. History dictates that, but we still have, real facts. This is not towards the humane and the just human beings in Ukraine. In 2012, Ernst & Young put Ukraine among the three most corrupt nations of the world alongside Colombia and Brazil. In 2015, The Guardian called Ukraine the most corrupt nation in Europe, according to a poll conducted by Ernst & Young in 2017. Experts considered Ukraine to be the ninth most corrupt nation in the world. Facts. Even though, I already knew, about Ukraine in my opinion or in my eyes. But this fact I Googled, and you can too. They have to indoctrinate to teach a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Broadcasting is a vehicle for indoctrinating the masses of people. He indoctrinated them in systematic theology. Who is he? You see all of them, the leaders in control. They have basically to indoctrinate you to the ideas to bring them to fruition, to make them a reality. Being that life is dictated by way of thinking, the thoughts become processes which are then implemented into laws. I said that we already are living in labor camp plantations, soon to be concentration camps, at the rate that the government is pushing their agenda. Complete and total control over the land and the people. Rules and regulations of one accord. Follow and obey or be eliminated. Now, neo-Nazism. Neo-Nazism refers to the post-World War II militant social and political movements seeking to revive and reinstate Nazi ideology. Neo-Nazis employ their ideology to promote hatred and white supremacy, attacks on racial and ethnic minorities, as well as whites that do not agree with the agenda, and in some cases, to create a fascist state. Does this sound familiar? A neo-Nazi is a member of an organization similar to the German Nazi Party. I hate to speak on this, but please follow along. The West ignores the presence of neo-Nazis in Ukraine. I'm not talking about Adolf Hitler in the World War I. I'm not talking about World War II or Hitler in December 18th, 1940. I'm talking about German forces invading the Soviet Union. Oh, I'm sorry. Or the German forces invading the Soviet Union on June 22nd, 1941. I'm talking about Nazism as of most recent as 2014. White nationalism Nazis in 2022, present day. Facebook temporarily allows billions of users to praise Ukrainian neo-Nazis military unit that was previously banned from being freely discussed under the company's dangerous individuals and organizations policy. an ideology that is forbidden. 1984, doublethink, domination and control, authoritarianism. Meta unbans the neo-Nazi Azov Battalion show. I call it a show because that's what they want you to see. And that's what they continue to show. Facebook, Meta, the metaverse, supports communism, basically. No values or principles or governing ideology of a true democracy. Brainwashing. Most of the population is conscious of double standards but ignores them effortlessly. Linguistic management of agenda. The machine is running at full speed. Once again, it is firing at all cylinders, working and functioning at a peak level of performance. Misinformation to confuse the narrative, to change the minds of the people for the government's agenda. The swastika and the Ukrainian context has been unbanned by Facebook and Amazon. On Amazon, you can buy Azov Battalion memorabilia, mugs, and t-shirts. It's on Amazon as if this is something to glorify. It should only be discussed or talked about in the context to history, to educate or to discuss the things that have been done in the past and to prevent them from ever happening again. We have to fight for the right for freedom of voice and choice, for morals and values, for a free world. They try to rewrite the laws to control your mind, to alter and control your thoughts, for a new world order, worldwide communism. We have to collectively fight to preserve clear values and principles of humanity and morality to continue to exist in a free world that they're trying to abolish, basically. They are consistently rewriting history for present day oppression of all people, not just people of color. The geopolitical military problem could end freedom in the world. Senseless wars for power and control over the land and the people is unacceptable and definitely not humanitarian. Censorship of choice, voice, and freedom of the constitutional democracy seems to be their end game. Only we the people collectively can make the change. By all means necessary, change must prevail for ideologies of freedom and democracy to exist and be preserved. So, I never would have thought the day that I'd be thinking or talking about nuclear war, or let alone Nazis in 2022, or even the sale of Nazi memorabilia. I would imagine that anything in regards to that subject would be strictly history to educate and basically discuss those matters, like I said, so that those events would never reoccur. But for some reason, we see that the agenda of being humane and just has always been just what it is, just us. We're living in inhumane times right now, people. If there's not a change made, there won't be any life left.